Hi everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the Masters of the Universe New Eternia figure Battle Armor He-Man. Now, Battle Armor He-Man has always been one of my favorite versions of He-Man. The same with Skeletor. Those were always my two favorite variants of those two characters. So I'm kind of curious to see what they really did with this figure, because I noticed just by looking in the box, they did a couple of things different, like giving him a beard and so forth. So I want to see what they do with this figure. So with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And if you're somebody who watches this video and likes it and hasn't subscribed, then I please ask that you subscribe as well. And also check out my Masters of the Universe playlist. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here he is in packaging. I do like the packaging for him. He's pretty much the standard look for your New Eternia figure. So when this figure came out, it was 40 years of He-Man. Up top, you got your points of articulation, your skew, Masterverse. All right. Then as you go down, you got this nice open window where you can see him, all his accessories. All right. New Eternia, Battle Armor He-Man, Mattel, and your age restriction. Come around here. Not a lot going on here. Just his name and a little bit about him. Most powerful man in the universe. Come around here. Now this is pretty neat. I like the art for this. It shows like an older He-Man with the beard, hair blown in the wind. So I kind of like the look of this art. And then you got some of the bad guys kind of looking up at him. Now the way how this is set up almost reminds me of the cover of the second Death Dealer book, where he's coming down with his battle axe and there's a bunch of ugly monsters there. So I'm curious if that's what inspired this. But anywho, so you got New Eternia up here, Battle Armor He-Man, a little bit about him, everybody that's part of this wave, and you also got your Mattel logo. Come around to this side. Get a nice profile picture of him. So once again, you got the beard, you got the hair blown in the wind. He's definitely an older version of He-Man. I kind of like this, actually. It looks pretty cool. And then back around to the front. Underneath, you got your skew and legal. So with all that being said, let's open him up and see what he's about. So here he is, out of packaging. The first thing we're going to do is go through his points of articulation. So, first off, the head does move. All right. Got a shoulder joint here with a swivel. You got an elbow joint. And you also have a wrist joint. All right. Get this arm up. You do have a joint right here underneath the ribs. That moves pretty well. You also have a thigh joint. Actually, that's more of a hip joint. Spin around this way. You do have your thigh joint here. It's a little bit restricted by his armor. So the armor makes this joint a little bit hard to move. You do have a swivel in there as well. You get a knee joint. Okay. A swivel at the top of the boot. All right. And you also get an ankle joint. So everything seems to move pretty well with him. I don't have any issues with any of his points of articulation. So now let's start looking at his finer details. So first off, I want to take a look at the head sculpt. So at first, I thought I wasn't going to like the beard. I honestly did. I was like, really? He-Man with a beard? But it kind of suits his figure. I like the beard. And when you look at this side, if you looked right at the hairline, you can see a little scar in there, so he's a little bit battle damaged as well. And then they go with the dirty blonde hair look instead of the bright yellow hair. So, you know, this He-Man looks like he's seen some stuff. So I kind of like that. The head sculpt grew on me, even though originally I wasn't really that much into it. All right. Now, the armor itself has that classic Battle Armor He-Man look. So with that, you didn't really see muscle detail to it. You just got kind of this rib pattern, which is very much similar to the original toy. They gave him, I guess that's supposed to be a lion on his belt buckle there, which is nice. So they give him the side armor as well to go along with his loincloth. Spin him around this way. You got your boot knife poster here. You can see the continuation of that side armor. Bring this arm down. You can see the detail on his arm and his bracelet. Come around to the back. If you want to take this armor off, you can. That's not an issue. You got a piece right here to take it off. You got a hole right here where the shield is going to connect to his back. And then you got this gauntlet here that the shield will hook into as well. And back around to the front. So overall, he isn't a bad looking figure. Now let's start getting into his accessories. So first off, he comes with an arm, a shoulder shield. Now this could go on either side. I think it's preferable to be on this side here. All right. Put that there. He has a shield. All right. Now this isn't your standard He-Man shield. Usually it's a round shield with a red design on it. This time they kind of went with your more traditional style shield with the H on it and some battle damage on the shield. So that's pretty neat. He comes with two hands. So he comes with a closed fist. And he also comes with an open hand. All right. He comes with battle damage for his armor. All right. He comes with a dagger, boot dagger. Of course, he comes with the power sword. All right. And he comes with his iconic battle axe. So let's start seeing how all this stuff works with him. So first off, let's swap out these hands. Let's see how these other hands work with him. Maybe. All right, so this hand gets the fist. That's a tight fit. There it goes. And then this one here. All right. All right. So both of those hands swap out very well. No issues with these two hands. All right, we're going to go back to the weapon hands so we can see how everything else works with them. 1, 2. Now, before we get into the weapons, we're going to do the chest piece first. So what happens is, with the original toy, you push in on it, is flip around, and then you have your battle damage. Now, the original one had 2 stages of battle damage. So there was 1, and then there was 2. This one only comes with the 2. So what you do is you pop this off, which comes off pretty easily, and then you swap this out. So this pulls off. Now the neat thing here is, instead of this just being a blank slate, they took the time to put some mechanics and stuff in there, which is really cool. It looks pretty neat. So it almost is like it's like maybe like a mechanized armor or something. So it's neat to see something under there other than just blank plastic. So now we got our damage here. Pop that on there. Eventually, I put it on right. Oh, yeah, that's the way. There it goes. Whoops, no. There it is. All right, there we go. Got that. And boom. Now you got the damage stuff on there, which looks really cool. I like how that looks on him. So now let's do the sword in this hand. All right, now these hands are a little bit hard. I can get the sword into it. The same with the axe. A little bit of work, but it does work with them. So there's the axe. and the power sword. All that works good with him. Now we're going to put the shoulder piece on him. Probably should have put that on before I put this axe in his hand, but not an issue. That just plugs up right there. So now you have the shoulder shield, or the shoulder armor, however you want to pronounce it. The shield pops right in here. All right. So there's the shield with no issues to that. And like I said, that can pop off. Go right here onto the back. So now if you want, you can have the shield on his back. All right. Yeah, I saw that one coming. All right. Let's get him on here a little bit more stable. All right. So next, let's replace the axe for his dagger. All right, there we go. So the dagger also fits very well in his hand. No issues with that. And that should fit right into his little boot spot there. It does. So everything seems to work pretty well with this figure. So let me get into my final thoughts with him. So first off, all his joints work very well with him. I don't have any issues with any of his joints. All his weapons and everything fit fine in his hands. The same with the shield on both his wrists and on his back. Don't have any issues with that. The battle damage does swap out pretty easily. Didn't have any issues with that as well. Overall, I think he's a really good looking figure. I like the overall look to him. I like the extra detail that they put behind his armor so you can see like mechanics and stuff underneath. I think that's a really nice touch. I do like that. The head sculpt, honestly, at first I really thought I wasn't going to like the beard and long hair look, but it works with this figure. I like the overall profile to him. So, would I recommend this figure? Absolutely. I think he's a really cool looking figure. I think he would look great with the rest of your new Eternia figures and Masters of the Universe collectibles. So, with that being said, first off, I want to thank everybody who's watched this video. You're very much appreciated. And I also ask that you check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, until the next one, late.